We are back and we are discussing all about technology. We are joined by Donna Reggae, who is the lead for Women in Technology at Safaricom. If you're just joining us, you have missed quite a vibrant conversation. Donna was able to take us through the tenets of women in technology, and she was also able to give us a glimpse of her own personal journey. She has a background in technology and has also done a master's in communication. So certainly she is the right person to help us understand how do we marry technology and business in the modern world. Welcome back, Donna.
Thank you.
So, very engaging conversation before we went on the break, and now we're back. And you've talked us through some of the success factors. You've gone into different counties, 45 counties, 13,000 women, 350 people who've come through the academy. I also like the element that you brought out in terms of 10% of procurement today at Safaricom is now allotted to women. And the favorite part of the conversation before the break was the fact that you said you've seen women evolve from the soft services into the core services when you look at technology. That's very exciting and it's very encouraging. Yes. I'd like to just sort of take now a different trajectory in this conversation. I know you have made investments in different opportunities. Perhaps you can highlight some of these case studies for our viewers.
So basically, I believe some of the case studies we have in terms of how best we can empower or rather give women an opportunity to do business is, apart from the women in business, is through initiatives like Digifam. Digifam basically focuses on trying to work with the minority groups. So we even have partners and even the Safaricom Foundation currently. So as we try to do our Digifam agenda, we have our on-ground remote extension officers. They're called Digifam Village Advisors. So basically we're targeting, as we acquire the Digifam Village Advisors, we're targeting women and youth. Yes. And so for us, it is important that we've seen a situation that women are very receptive to technology, and basically because the woman also has many hats in her day-to-day life, and technology seeks to play to help ease in the tasks.
Yes.
So basically they're very responsive. So we're trying to see how best to acquire more of the women and the youth, then be able to help them leverage on technology basically to help in the agricultural space. And for us, we target the whole smallholder farmer. So this is just one of some of the use cases we have within Safaricom.
Okay. Yeah. So before I come to this Digifam, you've told us women in technology. So what's the relationship between women in technology and Digifam? So do you invest in opportunities that are led by women, or what's the relationship between where you sit as the lead of women in technology and this initiative called Digifam?
So basically, as a lead of women in technology, I am basically a technology person, based on background and also based on the practices the practice of skill set that I have done. And how I would say the two marry is in the space that, yes, we are, let me say, IT skilled or we are technology skilled, but we are seeing the societal problems. So basically we are seeing how to connect. So with the technology we have and the expertise, how then do we marry it in a way that we are giving it opportunity to make an impact? So basically, yes, I play in the technology space, but Digifam is a technology startup that is trying to see how to alleviate a problem in the society. So in Safaricom, as much as we do technology, we use it to be the purpose-led technology company that we envision. So we try to marry it into how it plays back into solving an issue. Even M-Pesa.
Yes.
M-Pesa, same scenario. Came also to try and alleviate an issue that we had. So we use technology to leverage and basically helping solve that case. So we have M-Pesa, we have Digifam, we have Masoko.
So is Digifam now internal to Safaricom, or is it a separate entity that you've invested in?
So Digifam basically right now is an internal, and it's actually its own company. It's actually called Digifam Kenya Limited, but it's a fully owned subsidiary by Safaricom.
All right, now I understand the relationship. So the element of what you're doing is you're using technology for social impact, and you have now used Digifam as one of the initiatives, reaching out to small scale holders. Okay, now I'm getting the structure of this. So when you talk about Digifam, I can see the opportunity in agribusiness.
Yes.
What is the challenge that Digifam wants to solve in the agribusiness space?
So basically, Digifam foresees a future where it will positively impact the agribusiness space in terms of two things. So one of the biggest issues we've noticed that the smallholder farmer goes through is production. So currently, the smallholder farmer is only able to give 30% of their potential. And Digifam is seeking to use technology basically to create a very structured input distribution and production process for them. So this is through precision agriculture. This is through remote extension support. So soon we'll be launching something as Digifam, a remote customer care.
Okay.
And then also in addition, we have the on-ground Digifam Village Advisors. and now the remote will complement that.
Wow.
So that is one of the first things that we are trying to sort out for them, the production and the fact that this structured input distribution can then be able to give them an opportunity to give maximum yield, 100% and even more, for them to be able to earn from it. Secondly is the marketing. So access to market is a big issue for the smallholder farmer. So basically right now, if you notice, if from the research we have done, from the yield they produce, they only get 32% of the value. And this is because of dominance or by brokers.
32% of
32%.
That is so low.
It's very low. It's quite low, yeah. So because of broker dominance, because of lack of or rather unstructured information, or because of post-harvest losses. So basically, Digifam is now using technology to create a streamlined process where we can give them access to markets and give them access to markets in with competitive and really affordable prices without the broker dominance and all the issues that play around it. So basically for Digifam, the obsession for the customer, in this case our farmer, is to basically create a effective production for them and an access to market that is very competitive and affordable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you mean access to markets, how is that going to play out? So is it that your Digifam representatives on the ground actually go and collect and sell, or what happens?
So Digifam is basically runs on a buyer-led model. Okay. So how we operate is that Digifam first gets demand and ready markets from buyers. So these are the likes of Bidco, the likes of EABL and so forth. And basically then we get the demand and they show interest on what they would want to be supplied to them. And based on this demand, then we ask our farmers to then farm based on the demand, so that when they are done and they give us the produce has a source and ready market to be taken to. So basically this is what has given us opportunity to give the farmer an issue and a possibility or a channel where they don't have to worry about getting stuck with their produce, or basically being monopolized by the broker, or basically getting bad rates. So this is how we're trying to also help the farmer in this case.
So does then how do you recruit the farmer, and is it online? How do you identify? Can I be a farmer?
Yes, you can be a
if
farmer.
I've not been a farmer, because I mean, I like what you're doing, and, and if I was looking at it from a business perspective, you're solving the issue of production, you're sort of giving me the know-how, or at least helping me. You know, like back in the day, we used to have the agricultural officers who literally come and, you know, talk to you.
Do that,
I remember there's one I saw who did artificial insemination of a cow. I've been so shocked where his hand went. I was like, oh, I was so shocked. But they were very helpful, and they used to help. My grandparents were active farmers, and the agricultural officers were such a key component of the input process into farming in terms of knowledge transfer.
Yes.
So now, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so basically we actually play in that space. So Digifam and the ecosystem, how we play out is basically we even give the farmer access to affordable quality inputs. Then we also give them access to learning best practices about agronomy, and this we do through the remote, we do through SMS platform, and we also do through our Digifam village advisors on the ground. So basically we are still doing what used to be done to your grandparents, but now we are doing it at a larger scale and basically using technology to even make it better. So you're asking how basically you can be a farmer with us.
Because let me finish the story, because my grandparents were farmers. I don't know much about farming, but what you're presenting sounds so exciting. I would like to, if I wanted to explore that as a business opportunity, can you work with me as a new farmer if I had the land, or do I have to be a pre-existing farmer to actually tap into this? So
no, you don't have to be a pre-existing farmer. We can work with you as you are. So basically register with the platform, and we're available on *944#. *944#. Once you register with us, we'll need some information from you, KYC basically. And once we get that, then we'll be able to walk the journey with you. So green or not green, we'll be able to take you from where you are, give you the learning, give you the input, then walk the journey end to end with you, and we pride in that. That is what we do. We ensure we walk the end to end journey with our farmers.
Will you fund us? Do you fund farmers?
So we give credit. So we give credit, and right now I know we're in partnership with a lot of banks within the country to be able to provide accessible credit to our farmers, because we know that's also one of their pain points. So basically we give you, and then once we allow you to either pay off through a check-off system once you have the produce, or even slowly bit by bit as you go through the season. So yes, we can finance you. And I'd like to pride the fact that we've seen our model work quite well for us. And we have seen a situation where we even have a farmer who could move his kids from a public school to a private school because of the benefits of Digifam. And we also had another one who openly said that before he used to make only about 5,000 Kenya shillings profit per season, but now he's making up to 38,000. So for Digifam, per season. So as we walk the end-to-end journey, and we pride in that as one of the things that we do, for us, we feel it's very satisfactory and it's very purposeful for us.
Geez, what you're telling me, Donna, is perhaps is an opportunity to be a Digifam as opposed to a Safaricom shareholder. Because if I can put 5,000 and it moves to 38,000, that's very interesting. And,
Yes.
and I really like what you're doing it. But then in terms of focus areas, do you focus on certain output? Is it maize? Is it...
So we right now pride in doing quite a number of value chains. So currently, like this season, we're just starting out. So we started early August in areas like Kericho. So we're doing currently, we have maize, we have beans, we have sunflower, and we're also trying to venture into sorghum, although sorghum, the demand this season was not the best. But yes, we are doing quite a huge chunk of value chains. We always pride to do per season about 6 to 7.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I think I'm about to tell you, like, trend, we're gonna van.
You can wear your gumboots and your overall and off we go.
And off we go.
Just tie your hair in a band and off we go.
Okay, fantastic. I think I'm so excited by this Digifam story that I've almost lost my line of thought. But I was going to ask, how many people then have you recruited, and do you have a sense of the output in terms of the value of the output from Digifam, if that is information that's available in the public realm?
So basically, we're at our infancy stages, but I would like to happily say, yes, we've recruited millions of farmers currently. And beyond that, we are working with them also end to end, as I mentioned. And one of the biggest things that we also pride in, apart from the acquisition of the farmers and being able to walk the end to end journey with them, is that we have a partnership ecosystem, and we have been able to grow these SMEs. So our partnership ecosystem includes insurance providers for the likes of Pula, Eka Africa. We have seed manufacturers, Syngenta, Corteva, Green Life, and we also have learning and content providers like Arifu. So the fact that we can grow the smaller SMEs, small businesses and SMEs, then it also makes us live our purpose as Safaricom and Digifam.
Okay, understood. Yes. Thank you so much for that overview. Now, I think as we're coming to the tail end of this conversation, we have talked about women in technology. We have talked about the relationship of technology and business. And I really like what you've brought out in terms of we must find a way to marry technology and business to move forward.
Yes.
And you've shown us one of the ways is you can go back and learn, or you can actually integrate with the telcos, and then myriad of opportunities.
Yes.
Perhaps from your experience, from where you sit, Donna, if somebody is viewing us today and they have a business, from the experience that you learned from starting with an idea and getting to the execution of Digifam, because you have identified a challenge in agribusiness that you're trying to address, what are the 2-3 general perceptions or general touch points that you tell somebody in business who has a traditional model, and how do they become sensitive to the opportunities that the mobile world provides, and how should they think about it? I'm not saying that they will come up with a Digifam, but what are some of the key considerations? Because I can see what Safaricom is doing and the opportunity that it's seeing and how it's gotten there. So now when you come to this other side and you're looking at technology and there's somebody in business who's watching, what are some of the things that jump out to you that you'd be able to tell such a viewer?
So basically what I'll tell that viewer is, number one, take time to study how your customer is also evolving. Okay. So who is your customer? What were they interested in before? What are they interested in now? And where do they play at? Yes. Are they in the social space? And if they are, what are those channels that they're often using? Then based on this analysis, get to really deeply understand. And then you'll be able to understand what you may need to progress. Secondly, look at your business. Look at a situation like with COVID right now. When COVID happened, what are the few things that you are forced, because now there was no physical accessibility, but you still need the money. What are those aspects that you saw that needed you to quickly convert? So basically foresee and see a situation where if I was disrupted today, and because of distance, or because of the physical availability, or because of just the ecosystem and the policies, what are those things that I would be able to still be able to reach my customer? So based on that, then think about it and see what are the enabling factors. So one, know your customer. Key. Who is your customer and how do they play out? Then number two, what can you use technology for to be able to reach your customer and be able to give them a comfortable space? Remember, the Kenyan customer currently is very, very, let me say, aware. Yes. And very intentional about their purchasing. So you need to want to be able to satisfy them, and you also need to find that unique niche where you can play in, because again, just the same way you're thinking about the business, someone else is thinking about it. Exactly. So you need to find out what's that extra thing I can give my customer to be able to stand out.
Okay. Yes. And so what you're saying is, I like what you say, because more often than not, most businesses just evolved. I was sitting here selling eggs, and tomorrow somebody came and asked for Omo, and I morphed to Omo, you know.
Yes.
But in this season, that's when I realized I do a bit of consulting. I'm a business consultant, but you realize most people don't know much about their customers, and there was never any need to know much about your customer because they were there anyway.
Yes.
But with the interruptions that we've had, you literally had to go a step further to understand and integrate. And I think the people who've been winners are especially the companies that have decided to use technology. So there is an opportunity to use technology. And then I also like what you're saying in terms of turn the internal disruptions at a business level into opportunities to move over to the next level. So I can see a lot of learning here. So I'm so grateful for this. I think we've come to the tail end of this conversation. Perhaps you can leave us with some parting words in terms of women in technology, either on Digifam or just in business in general, and how to leverage on technology.
So I think my parting shot would be a bit different. So basically mine would just be an appreciation, number one, to our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Peter Ndegwa, because I believe, yes, he's new to the organization, but he's already in and he's already actually up and running with us on the initiatives.
Wow.
And he's very active and supportive, and he's a great sponsor for the same. And I think one thing that stands out for me is that he came in and he made sure that we remember who keeps us on our jobs. It's the customer.
Wow.
So every day when I wake up in the morning, I need to remember that I'm notoriously customer obsessed.
So I should just tell you all my, okay, I don't have problems.
Yes. So it is important that we are able to listen to our customers. And I think that resonates quite well with the business where we are right now. So yes, we are at some peak where people think we make big profits. But again, what are those? Are we still listening to the customer? Are we still in touch with our customer to be able to sustain or even grow them? Then secondly, I would also want to appreciate him because he's come at a time when he's now enabling us see what is the next thing for us. Can we think beyond COVID? Can we use COVID as an advantage, as you have mentioned? So I really guess his coming in was at a great time, an opportune time. And secondly, I also want to appreciate our patronage. So basically, Mr. George Njuguna and Mr. James Maitai, they have been supportive. They sit in a leadership team where mostly is male. The testosterone is quite high, but they're surviving and they're pushing on with us to be able to get the women numbers on the table. And lastly, just an appreciation to my team, the 40 ladies and 3 gentlemen in the team. So these people are passionate. These people give of their time, they sacrifice, and this has made them a purposeful team. And I like what we do together. And I aspire that many people can join us, partner with us, women in technology, women in business, and even Digifam, to be able to impact our women. Because remember, women once empowered, it's for the whole community.
That's true.
No one said we boys have to lose for the woman to win.
That's true.
So the more we keep campaigning for the women, then able to keep the conveyor belt and be able to fuel the future needs of our communities.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
And what I will do, I'll also just give a very warm thank you and a message of gratitude from us here at Metropole TV to you, Donna, right, for just sharing your time and sharing all that women in technology is about at Safaricom. And also just, I've had a lot in terms of businesses that are listening. I've had a lot about, think about your design process, but use technology to be able to think about your design process. Think about your customer, understand your customer, but use technology to be able to help you to do that. Rearrange and reorganize, but use technology to be able to do that. And I think my greatest takeout, and I'll end it at this point, is just to say, if you and the firm that you represent, Safaricom, can come with all humility and look at the customer and redefine its purpose as I am here because of the customer, then I think that is something that each and every other business person in Kenya today, even at a personal level, needs to take out. And my takeout really is be humble enough to listen to your people, not once at the beginning, but each and every single day. Have the humility to ask, what do you want? What can I do for you? I'm here to serve you. And if I'm able to serve you, then I'm able to grow in other ways. So thank you so much for your time, Donna. I truly appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, I think what we are hearing is be humble. Be humble enough to ask the people around you, what do they need? If you haven't seen a business opportunity, perhaps it's only a question and engagement away. And if not that, then look at technology to see how can you be able to enhance your productivity, your output, getting to know your customer. In other words, use technology to be able to marry it to your existing businesses to move to the next level. It's Wednesday, it's a day for women, and we have celebrated women in terms of women in technology. Donna has shown us the how, and I think what I liked from what she told us is when you empower a woman, it doesn't mean that you are disempowering a man. You're empowering a woman and you're bringing up somebody else who had a different idea so that we can enhance the entire output and productivity of our nation. Thank you so much for joining us. I come back again tomorrow, but I'm only here if I'm able to answer your questions. I extend an invitation to you through Ask Mbithe. Please ask me anything that you would like to know about investments. Our SMS line is 20146. We're also available on all social media platforms. That's Metropole TV or Mbithe Mwema on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. We would like to hear your questions, and I will take some time out tomorrow's session just to be able to specifically answer them. Thank you so much, and good afternoon.